guys, welcome back to my channel. So recently I was looking at my Goodreads and I realized that I have started a lot of series but haven't actually finished any of them. I've kind of gotten past the first book and then never picked up the second. So I went through all of the books that I have read, or at least that I have marked read on Goodreads, because if I have not marked it read on Goodreads, I have forgotten that I have read it. And I have made a list of all of the series that I would like to finish. Most of them I would probably want to finish this year. So first on my list, I would like to finish the Beldame Apocrypha, which is the series that has God's War by Cameron Hurley in it. I read that a couple months ago, and then I kind of completely forgot that it was a series and didn't bother picking up the second or third book. But I would really like to finish that guy off this year, because especially with that series being a little bit more complicated, I would really like to retain most of what I've gathered from the first book and actually finish out the other two. So the next is the Southern Reach trilogy. Now this obviously has, again, 3 books, and I've read the first one, but not the second 2. The first one was Annihilation, and I really liked it. They're all very small books, so they shouldn't take me too long to get to, and I do know that these are all available at the library. I just have to go and pick them up. Third on my list is the Farseers trilogy. Last year I read the first book again, and I own the second 2, so here are the other 2. I have The Royal Assassin and The Assassin's Quest. I have not read these for obvious reasons. They are enormous. So this series I started to read because I've heard a lot of really great things about Robin Hobb and about her fantasy books. I've heard very good things about the Live Ship Traders trilogy, which is the trilogy directly after this one, but there are spoilers in it if you want to read this series ever. So I figured I need to start with this series and then move on to the Live Ship Traders. The next series is the Mistborn series. I read the first book, Mistborn, last year, I think last June, so it's coming up on a year since I read the first book. There are 6 books in this series, but I think they're broken up into 2 trilogies. So I wouldn't be upset if I just finished the first trilogy, but technically there are 5 other books that I need to get to in the series. Again, these are epic fantasy books, so again, they're very long, which I think is kind of a theme, an ongoing theme in these books. Next up is a series that I actually don't own any of the books of, but I would really like to because I really enjoyed the first one, and that is the Parasol Protectorate series. It takes place in London, where werewolves and vampires and ghosts are all things, all real things. There are 5 books in the series, the Parasol Protectorate series, and these are just a lot of fun. So next up I have just the tail end of a series that I need to finish, and that is Winter by Marissa Meyer. I read the Lunar Chronicles maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I own all of the books. I owned this one. I got it right as it came out, and I just never got around to finishing it out. I actually started, you can see it's right there, I started it. The last series that is on my list to finish this year is the All Souls trilogy. Again, trilogy. I read the first book, really liked it, and then picked up the second and third book. The third book only because I had a really good deal on it, so I decided to get that one. But the second book is Shadow of Night, which I started and then never finished because I got bored. And then the third one is the Book of Light. So these follow a couple. A lady is a witch and the man is a vampire, and they are looking for something. I don't remember the story all too well, so I might need to reread the first one. Those are all the series that I have started so far and want to finish this year. They're not including, there are a couple series up here that I haven't started yet, and I'm not counting those because I haven't given up on the series, I just haven't gotten to it yet. I do have 2 series that I would like to make some progress on this year. I don't necessarily want to finish them out. One being the Cormoran Strike series. The second series that I want to make some progress on is the Memoirs of Lady Trent series. This is that dragon naturalist series. There are, how many? 4. There are 4 more books in that series that I have not gotten to. I read the first one, again, last June, but those are also continuing to come out, and I want to make sure I get all of them in the matching paperbacks. So I'm waiting until they're all available in paperback so I can go and buy them all. So what about you guys? Are you as bad as I am about finishing series? I tend to pick up a ton and then never continue on with them, apparently. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.